So, something huge just dropped in the AI world, and it's a massive deal, especially for India. The team over at Sarvam AI has just open sourced two brand new, incredibly powerful AI models. And the kicker? They were built from the ground up specifically for India. This isn't just another model release, you guys. This is a game changer.
And this right here, this is the mission statement that's driving the whole thing. AI for a billion people. It's not about tweaking existing tech. It's about building something from scratch that truly gets India's incredible diversity, right from its very core. It's a huge ambition, and this release is their first major shot at making it happen.
So, what's the big problem they're trying to solve? Well, building AI for India is a whole different ballgame. You're dealing with immense linguistic and cultural diversity. I mean, we're talking about 22 official languages, thousands of dialects, and cultural contexts that are just incredibly unique. Most of the big global models, they're trained on English internet data, and they can't keep up. They're clumsy, they're inefficient, and they totally miss the nuance. So Sarvam's answer is what they're calling a full stack effort, all developed right there in India. They've dropped two new models, Sarvam 30B and Sarvam 105B. And when they say a sovereign stack, what that really means is they built everything themselves, from collecting the data to training the models and optimizing them. This is a huge deal for creating an independent AI infrastructure. It means India isn't just playing with AI toys anymore. It's building the whole toolbox from scratch. Now, what I love about this is the two-pronged attack. You've got Sarvam 30B, think of it as the sprinter. It's lean, it's fast, and it's built for real-time chats. It's actually the engine behind their Samvad platform. And then you have Sarvam 105B, which is the marathon runner. This one's built for the heavy lifting. Deep, complex thinking, and tasks that take multiple steps. It's the brain behind their Indus AI assistant. Two different tools for two very different but equally critical jobs. Okay, so how on earth did they build models that are both this capable and also practical enough to actually use at scale? Well, the secret, it's all in the architecture. So let's peel back the layers and see what makes these things tick. The heart of this whole thing is a concept called mixture of experts, or MOE. The best way to think about it is like having a committee of specialists. Instead of bugging the entire committee with every single question, you have a smart little router that sends your question only to the one or two experts who are best at that specific topic. This lets you have a model with a massive amount of knowledge without the insane computing cost every time you ask it to do something. It's all about being smart and efficient. And this slide really puts all the pieces together. Both models use that MOE setup with 128 of those experts we were just talking about. They've been trained on a truly mind-boggling amount of data, up to 16 trillion tokens, with a huge focus on Indian languages and context. They're also using fancy attention mechanisms, which is basically the model's ability to focus on the most important parts of a long text so they can handle complex stuff without getting lost. And it all comes together in that sovereign stack they built from the ground up. All right, so the architecture sounds incredible, but in the AI world, talk is cheap, right? The real test is, how do they actually perform? Let's get to the proof in the pudding and see what these models can actually do. This is it. This is the question that everybody from developers to users is asking. Do the numbers, the benchmarks, actually back up all the hype? Let's take a look at the data and find out. And wow, the numbers for Sarvam 105B are nothing short of amazing. Just look at this table. On these tough reasoning benchmarks, it's not just holding its own against other big open source models. In many cases, it's beating them. On AME, which is a hard math test, it's hitting 96.7, and on Tau, which measures if it can complete tasks like an agent, it's at the top of this list. This is what frontier-level performance looks like. But this, honestly, this is the showstopper. To really push its reasoning skills, they gave the 105B model the JEE Main exam paper, one of the toughest college entrance exams on the planet. And on the math section, it got a perfect score, 25 out of 25. That's not just good, that is an absolutely incredible display of deep, logical reasoning. Okay, so now let's switch gears to the 30B model. Its whole story is about being super efficient without sacrificing power. Remember that clever MOE architecture? Well, it means that even though it's technically a 30 billion parameter model, it's only using a tiny fraction of that, just 2.4 billion parameters at any given time. This thing punches way, way above its weight class.
And the data proves it again. Check it out. On Live Code Bench, which is a real-world coding test, it comes out on top here. On MMLU Pro, a test of general knowledge, it's right up there with the best of them. This is the kind of model you want for real-world apps where speed and cost are critical, and it absolutely delivers. Look, benchmarks are great, but they don't tell the whole story. To really get a feel for what these models are capable of, you have to see them in action. And trust me, this is where things get really, really cool. So check out some of these demos they showed. The 105B model built a fully working, interactive Pokédex web app from a single prompt. A single prompt. It also designed and coded a beautiful professional website landing page in one shot. Then, we saw it take a complicated question in Telugu, go search the web, and come back with a perfect localized answer. But maybe the most impressive thing? It acted like a GE tutor, guiding a student through a hard physics problem with questions instead of just blurting out the answer. That is real intelligence. So let's zoom out. What does all of this really mean for India? Releasing these models for free under an Apache 2.0 license, this is about so much more than just a cool piece of tech. It's about building a sovereign AI ecosystem. It's about creating technology that understands and preserves India's unique culture and languages. And it's about making sure India's future is built on its own terms. Now, this chart looks a little technical, but the idea behind it is super important. It's about the tokenizer, how the AI breaks down words. This fertility score basically shows how many pieces each word gets split into. The lower the number, the better. And you can clearly see for Indian languages, Sarvam's model is way more efficient. What that means for developers? It's faster and cheaper to build apps in Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, you name it. And the efficiency just keeps getting crazier. Because they control the whole stack, they were able to optimize everything, achieving a 3 to 6 times improvement in throughput. In simple English, that means you can serve way more users on the exact same hardware. This dramatically lowers the cost for anyone wanting to build AI products in India. And that's really the big picture here. By open sourcing these powerful, efficient, India-first models, Sarvam isn't just releasing a product. They're basically building the foundational railroad tracks for an entire new ecosystem of AI applications, all ready to be built by Indian developers. And this just lays out their strategy so perfectly. It's a clear 4-step journey. First, build the expertise in-house. Second, train your models on the right kind of data. Third, optimize everything for the real world. And fourth, and most importantly, give those tools to the community to empower them. This quote just nails the whole philosophy, doesn't it? It's a fundamental shift in thinking. It's moving away from just adapting foreign tech to actually creating foundational technology that is, at its core, Indian. All right, so let's boil it all down. What are the key things to remember? We've got 2 new world-class models that are now open source. They're built on a super efficient MOE architecture. They've got top-tier performance, especially on Indian languages and STEM problems. And they're massively optimized for real-world use. This is a huge leap forward for India's sovereign AI ambitions. When you look at the big picture, what we're really seeing here is a turning point. It's a historic shift from India being a consumer and adapter of AI to being a creator and a definer of this technology on its own terms. And that leaves us with the most exciting question of all. Now that these incredible building blocks are out there, available to everyone freely and openly, what will the next generation of Indian developers, entrepreneurs, and dreamers build with them? The possibilities are truly endless.